If you ever smell iodine and gardenias at the same time, leave. That's the first rule they never taught me in journalism school. My name's Noah Grady, freelance reporter. Bad habit of answering unknown numbers after midnight. The call came at 12:14 a.m. A woman's voice, dry, like paper rubbed together, whispered, "You want a real story? Go to St. Aurelia Medical Center. Locals call it Mercy's End. Bring a recorder. Bring someone who still believes in God. Click." I Googled it. A decommissioned hospital off Route 41. Shut down after lawsuits, scandals, whispers of malpractice. Teenagers sneak in for dares, post grainy photos, brag. But buried in the forums, one comment repeats. I smelled flowers in the ICU. Gardenias, but wrong. Left wearing someone else's wristband. 2 nights later, I'm there. Soy fields on both sides. A dead frontage road ahead. I've got my recorder, a thermos, and Elena Cruz, an ex-trauma nurse turned whistleblower. She swore never to set foot in another hospital, yet here she is, saying, "I'm here for the truth, not ghosts. If there's a story, it's human. It always is." From the shoulder, Mercy's End rises like a bruise on the horizon. 4 stories of dead brick, windows sealed shut. The old ER bay yawns open, like a mouth missing teeth. A hospital bracelet crunches under my boot. The ink's faded except for one thing. A birth date, March 13th, 1979. Not mine, not Elena's. Still warm from the sun, but the plastic feels used. Clock's ticking, Elena says. I glance at my phone. 12:14 a.m. again. Full battery, no service. The time won't move, like the second hand, flatlined. Inside the lobby's a mausoleum of pamphlets and toppled chairs. Elena's penlight cuts across fresh boot prints, dragging down the hall. Heel, toe, right leg, dragging, not ours. On the wall, the directory board's been rewritten in grease pencil. L1, admissions. L2, observation. L3, collection. L4, discharge. Elena frowns. Hospitals don't label floors like that. I press the elevator button, half joking. The doors shrug open. Cold air spills out. Iodine, bleach, and that wrong gardenia scent. Inside, a note's wedged in the track. Same jagged handwriting. If you came for a story, start where the stories start. Admissions, we say together. Elena presses L1. Nothing. The panel flickers and chooses for us. L2, observation. The mirror in the elevator shows us both, until it doesn't. For 1 second, it shows a gurney. Something under the sheet twitching. The doors slide open. The hallway lights are already on. Someone knew we were coming, or they never turned them off. The intercom crackles alive with a voice I shouldn't know, but do. "Welcome back, Mr. Grady. We've been trying to reach you about your admission." The lights in the observation wing don't buzz, they breathe. Each flicker feels like lungs straining. Inhale, exhale, followed by a crackle, like static caught in a throat. Elena stops. "That's not power lines," she whispers. "That's not even electricity." The hallway stretches ahead, lined with patient rooms. Curtains stir in every window, though the boards outside are nailed tight. And the names, each door bears one, scrawled in black marker. Marcus Grady, Alice Grady, Infant Boy Grady, all my last name. But I've never known them, never met them. And every clipboard insists we've been admitted, treated, discharged. Diagnoses scribbled in a doctor's hand. Unresolved grief, obstruction of breath, foreign heartbeat. I whisper, "Why me?" Elena's hand clamps my arm. "They're not your records, they're your warnings." Then the sound, wheels. A gurney glides out of the shadows, sheet draped, moving on its own. The fabric is soaked yellow, and something beneath twitches once, twice. Elena yanks me aside just before it crashes into the wall, pinning itself like someone shoved it hard. From beneath the sheet, a latex glove trembles, an IV still taped to bone-thin skin. But the tubing snakes upward, not downward, vanishing into the ceiling, as if the building itself is drinking. "I'm done," Elena mutters. "This is staged. Somebody's trying to break us." But then she sees it, an envelope taped to the nurse's station window, edges too white for this dust-caked hall. Inside, 2 brass keys, old and heavy, stamped with floor numbers, 3, 4, not for admissions, not for observation, straight to collection and discharge. A note flutters out, written in the same jagged script as the directory board. Admissions is closed. Patients must proceed directly to collection. Elena's jaw tightens. This isn't random. It's protocol. And if there are rules, there's someone enforcing them. Before I can answer, the intercom hisses alive again. This time, not a voice, just breathing. Slow, wet, too close. Every patient door slams shut at once. Not a draft, not hinges. Finality. The exit sign above the stairwell flickers, letter by letter, until it no longer says exit. It says collection. The gurney shifts again. Not rolling, dragging itself like whatever's under the sheet is pulling toward us. And in that moment, I understand. Mercy's End isn't abandoned. It's a machine, a system, and the stories here don't just get written, they get collected. The observation wing narrows until it feels like a throat swallowing us. At the end of the hall waits an elevator no map ever mentioned. Its doors are painted red, not rust, not paint, red like something still wet, though the metal is cold beneath my hand. Elena mutters, hospitals don't mark elevators like that, but when I press the call button, the directory above it flickers alive. L3, collection. The brass key in my pocket burns hotter, as if it knows we've arrived. The doors groan open. Inside, the walls are lined with mirrors, but not the kind you expect. These showrooms we haven't seen yet. The morgue, the chapel, a waiting area full of people sitting perfectly still, heads bowed, as if waiting for someone to admit them. I look closer. Every face in the waiting room is mine. Elena drags me back. Don't, but the intercom crackles, soft as a lullaby. Mr. Grady, you're next. The panel blinks. Buttons shuffle themselves until only one remains lit. L3. The doors start to close. Elena shoves her arm in the gap, slamming them back. Her voice is steady, but her eyes aren't. We take the stairs. That thing isn't carrying us anywhere. We turn, but the hallway we came from has disappeared. In its place stretches another corridor, blank, sterile, endless. The red elevator hums behind us, patient, waiting. And for the first time since the call, I feel it. We didn't find Mercy's End. It found us. The endless corridor feels like it's stitched from copy and paste pieces. Every 20 feet, the same light, the same crack in the tile, the same shadow waiting at the corner. Elena runs her fingers along the wall. The paint flakes under her touch, and beneath it, names, dozens of them, carved deep. Everyone reads Grady. First names, middle names, initials, some with dates of birth, some with dates of death. One catches my eye. Noah Grady, Dobb, mine. DOD, blank. My throat locks. It's me. Elena presses closer. No, it's bait. This is how they break you. We walk faster. The names multiply, crowding every inch of plaster. Children, strangers, my parents' names, names I've never told anyone. And then Elena freezes. Her flashlight lands on one she can't ignore. Elena Cruz, Dobb, hers, Dodd, today's date. Her hand trembles. That's not possible, but the hospital doesn't care. The wall keeps writing, fresh grooves etching themselves, slow as a scalpel cutting skin. The letters carve louder now, nails on bone. One word at the bottom, collected. Elena rips me away, panic bleeding through her voice. This place doesn't want stories, Noah. It wants records. Behind us, the red elevator dings once. A polite sound, a hungry sound. And on the wall where our names just appeared, the letters keep digging deeper, like the hospital is already preparing our obituaries. We keep moving, but the hospital keeps bending. Corridors fold into themselves, stairwells led back to the same hall. It feels less like we're walking inside a building, and more like a building is walking us. Then we hear it again. Wheels. The gurney from observation. It rattles into view at the far end of the corridor, sheet pulled tight. This time, it's not alone. 3 more roll out behind it, each moving in perfect unison, like soldiers keeping step. Elena grabs my wrist. They're hurting us. The first gurney halts. The sheet sags, empty, nothing beneath it. But when we look away for half a second and look back, the sheet is flat again. No stain, no shape, no gurney, just polished floor. Gone. The others follow. One blink, and they vanish mid-roll, mid-squeak, like tape cut in the middle of a recording. Elena swears under her breath. Hallucinating. hallucinations, but my recorder is still running. The wheels, the clatter, her voice, they all play back, crisp and real. Something brushes my shoe. I look down. A hospital bracelet, fresh, ink still wet. The name strip reads, Elena Cruz, D.O.B. correct, D.O.D. blank. She snatches it, throws it down the hall. It lands, skids, then disappears before it stops moving. Not real, she mutters. Not real, but her hands shake. The intercom pops, sharp as a heartbeat. That dry paper voice returns. Collection in progress. Please remain still. We don't. We run. Every corner we turn. More gurneys wait, appearing, disappearing, a rhythm we can't outpace. Finally, Elena yanks open a door marked staff only. Inside is a narrow staircase leading down. The air is heavier, metallic. My phone flickers. 12:14 a.m. again. She looks at me, down or back, but before I can answer, the lights above us dim, and when they return, every step of the stairwell is lined with folded white sheets, neat, waiting, like the hospital already prepared beds for us. The stairwell spills us into a basement hall, colder than the rest of the hospital. No buzzing lights here. Just a steady hum, low and constant, like machinery that should have died decades ago. The sign above the double doors says morgue. Elena mutters, of course. Inside the air is syrup thick with iodine and something sweeter. Gardenias again. Wrong, cloying. Too strong. The room itself is strangely clean. Steel drawers line the walls. Some hang open, empty. Others are sealed shut. Frost crusting the handles. A clipboard rests on a central desk. At first glance, it's just another patient log. But when I open it, the truth sinks like ice water. It's not a log. It's a ledger. Each entry lists not only the patient's name, but their cause of death, organ inventory, and final location. Some are marked with dates. Some only say one word, collected. Elena leans over my shoulder. Her face drains of color. These aren't bodies, they're assets. The pages grow stranger the further I turn. Not just patients, reporters, nurses, priests, even city officials, whole families with the same last name. My last name. One entry makes my hand freeze. Grady, Noah. Status, in progress. Collection. Priority, high. The ink looks fresh, still wet. My name wasn't written 20 years ago. It was written tonight. I flip the page. There's one for Elena, too. Cruz, Elena. Status, pending. Final location, pediatrics wing. She slams the ledger shut, trembling. This isn't history. It's a schedule. Before I can respond, the bottom drawer of the morgue wall slides open on its own. Inside lies a wristband. The name tag reads, Cruz, Elena, Dob, correct, D.O.D. Today. The intercom clicks alive, that brittle paper voice returning. Ms. Cruz, please report to pediatrics. Your admission is overdue. The drawer slams shut, and in the silence after, I hear the hum again. Not machines, not lights. A heart, the hospital's own heartbeat. The morgue doors creak as we back away from the ledger. Elena's face is pale, eyes fixed on the word pediatrics. That's when we hear the sound. Not wheels this time, not drawers, heels, click, click, click. The sound of someone walking confidently, unhurried. A figure appears at the far end of the corridor. White uniform, cap tilted neat, shoes polished bright enough to catch the dim light. For a second she looks normal, like a nurse caught in the wrong decade. Then she lifts her head. Her face is hidden behind a surgical mask, but her eyes are wrong, too wide, too glossy, like glass marbles pressed into sockets. She carries a clipboard, and the moment she sees us, she flips to a fresh page. Noah Grady, she says, calm, precise. Collection in progress. Her pen scratches my name. Ink so black it looks wet even after the stroke ends. Elena grabs my arm. We're leaving, but the nurse only tilts her head, polite as a hostess. Miss Cruz, pediatrics wing. You're late for your examination. The air turns colder. Behind the mask, her jaw stretches wider than it should, the fabric pulling tight across bone. Her teeth push against the cloth, a rows and rows, like she's smiling through gauze. Elena forces herself forward. Voice steady, though her hands shake. We're not patients. The nurse answers with a kindness worse than cruelty. Everyone here is a patient. Some simply take longer to admit. She tucks the clipboard under one arm, and when she lifts her free hand, it isn't gloved. It's bare, gray, fingertips bruised with old blood. She extends it like she's asking us to follow. Elena whispers, if we touch her, it's over. The intercom crackles above. repeating in a sing-song loop, paging night nurse, paging night nurse, paging night nurse. The heels click closer, calm, confident, certain, and for the first time I realize Mercy's End doesn't chase its patients. It waits for them to surrender. We retreat from the night nurse, every step matched by the click of her heels. She never rushes. She doesn't have to. The intercom above us sputters, then clears. A man's voice this time, calm, confident, a voice used to authority. Paging Dr. Holloway. Dr. Holloway to collection. Elena stiffens. I've heard that name before. The night nurse halts mid-step, head bowing like she's awaiting orders. The voice continues, echoing through the halls. All incomplete admissions must be reviewed by Dr. Holloway. All discrepancies corrected. The lights dim. For a moment I swear the tiles under our feet pulse, faint as veins beneath skin. I whisper, "Who is he?" Elena's jaw tightens. Back at County, we used to joke about him. The ghost doctor. Charts would vanish. Death certificates get rewritten. Patients listed as alive when we'd seen the bodies, always stamped with one name, Holloway. Her voice lowers. I thought it was corruption, cover-ups. But what if it wasn't? The intercom clicks again. The voice grows sharper. Closer, like he's speaking just over our shoulders. Noah Grady, incomplete admission. Report, immediately. The nurse lifts her head. Her glassy eyes shine as she turns. Clipboard, tucked neatly under her arm. She doesn't chase. She simply pivots, waiting for us to obey. Elena grabs my sleeve. We don't follow. Not him. Not her. If we see Holloway, it's already too late. But the lights along the corridor flare, guiding us like runway lamps. They lead in one direction only, toward a set of double doors labeled PEDIATRICS. The air carries it again. Sweet, heavy, wrong. Gardenias. The intercom hisses one last time. Dr. Holloway's voice cutting through, patient and sharp as a scalpel. Ms. Cruz, pediatrics is open. The children are waiting. Elena freezes, lips parting like she might scream. But she doesn't. She whispers only one word. No. And in that refusal, I hear something shift in the walls. Not anger, not warning. Anticipation. The double doors wait ahead, painted pale blue. Faded stickers of cartoon animals cling to the surface. Smiling bears, balloons, a sun with a face. Innocent, almost cheerful. But the handles are chained shut. A heavy padlock hangs in the middle, newer than the rest of the building. Gleaming in the dim light. Elena stops dead. She won't step closer. Her voice is barely a whisper. I worked pediatrics at County. The worst nights were when the kids came in and didn't leave. You never forget the sounds, the parents, the silence after her hand trembles at her side. If this place wants me anywhere, it's here. I reach for the lock just to test it. Cold steel. But before I can pull away, my phone screen flickers. 12:14 a.m. again. A notification appears. No signal. No service, just a single text. Admission confirmed. Pediatrics. The message vanishes as fast as it came. Behind the doors, something shifts. A wheel, a soft rattle of metal, and then laughter. Children's laughter. Faint, distorted, like it's playing through an old tape deck. Elena's eyes close. She whispers in Spanish under her breath, a prayer she probably hasn't said in years. I tug the chain once more, and the links fall slack, like they were never locked at all. The padlock hits the floor, heavy, final. The laughter stops. Silence presses hard against the doors. Then, one small knock, soft, polite. From the other side, Elena grabs my hand. "Don't open it, please." But the intercom crackles to life again. Dr. Holloway's voice, smooth and steady. "Miss Cruz, the children have been waiting for you. Don't keep them waiting." The knock repeats. Louder, faster. More hands now, slapping, pounding. Small hands, dozens of them. The cartoon stickers peel from the doors, curling like burned paper, until nothing's left but pale blue paint. Elena squeezes my hand so tight it hurts. If we go in, we don't come back out. The pounding stops all at once. Silence again. But the chain lies at our feet, broken, waiting, and the smell of gardenias leaks out from the crack in the doors. sweet and suffocating. The doors don't open, but the smell seeps through. Gardenias, heavy, syrup-sweet, sticky in my throat, stronger than bleach, stronger than the iodine. Elena staggers back. No, not here. Not that her voice is breaking. I've seen her handle trauma victims, gore, death, but not this. This smell guts her. I cover my nose with my sleeve, but it doesn't help. The scent doesn't just cling to the air. It burrows. Memory, not smell. Suddenly I'm 6 years old again, standing in a hospital waiting room. My mother's hand on my shoulder. A vase of gardenias on the counter. Petals browning at the edges. My father's name being paged over the intercom. Only he never answered, because he never walked out of that ICU. The scent, it drags me deeper. My mother crying. The flowers too sweet, too wrong. The first time I understood hospitals weren't for healing. They were for endings. Elena's shaking. She's not here anymore either. Her eyes are wide, fixed on something only she can see. Her lips move. County, night shift, pediatrics overflow. We had 3 gardenias in a vase. Always 3. Always after a child died. Always she chokes on her own words. Tears streak her face. I've never seen her break like this. The smell thickens. The walls pulse. Sweating floral oil. My recorder hums in my pocket, capturing every second. But the sound that comes through isn't our voices. It's crying children. Soft and endless. I grab Elena's shoulders. Focus. It's not real. But she shakes her head, whispering, real enough. The intercom clicks. Holloway's voice slides, smooth as ever. Do you understand now? Gardenias for memory, for mourning, for collection. The scent sharpens. So strong my eyes sting. I can't breathe. Elena gasps like she's drowning. And then, just as suddenly, it vanishes. Gone. No flowers, no oil. Only the faint echo of children crying. Fading into silence. The doors to pediatrics stand still, closed, waiting. But both of us know the truth. The hospital doesn't need to open them. It's already inside us. We move past pediatrics, deeper into the basement maze. The hall's narrow, lit by a sickly green glow that doesn't come from bulbs, but from behind the walls, like the plaster itself is phosphorescent. A door waits at the end. CTS-CAN. Authorized personnel only. The sign dangles crooked, but the light inside pulses steady. Elena hesitates. Machines don't run without power, yet the hum begins before we touch the door. Low, rhythmic, not electrical, more like breathing. Inside, the room looks ordinary at first. The CT scanner sits in the center, its white ring gleaming, but wires spill across the floor like veins, snaking into the walls, pulsing faintly with that green glow. The machine is on, waiting. My phone buzzes. I look down. The screen displays one word in all caps. Lie down. Elena shakes her head hard. No, don't even think about it. But the table of the scanner slides forward on its own, motor whining. The intercom clicks alive with Holloway's voice. Calm, icy. Mr. Grady, step inside. We need an image for your record. The hum thickens, louder, resonant in my ribs. My ears pop. It doesn't sound like a machine anymore. It sounds like chanting. Layered voices, hundreds of them, trapped in the wiring. I lift my recorder. Playback stutters, distorted. But one phrase cuts through the static. Collect the image. Collect the soul. Elena grabs my arm, yanking me back. Noah, if you go in, it won't scan your body. It'll scan everything. The scanner lights flare, and for an instant, I see something inside the ring. Not a tunnel, not magnets. An eye, huge, unblinking, focused on me. I stumble, nearly drop the recorder. Elena slams the door shut, and the hum dies instantly, like cutting a vein. Silence, dead silence. She leans against the wall, trembling. They don't just collect bodies. They collect what makes us us. I pocket the recorder. My hand is shaking. And for the first time I realize Mercy's End isn't archiving patients. It's archiving people. We leave the CT room, but the silence doesn't last. It breaks with a sound every hospital knows. Beeping. At first, faint, a single EKG rhythm echoing through the corridor. Then another, louder, faster. Soon the whole hall is alive with heart monitors, each at a different rate, some steady, some stuttering, some racing toward flat line. The noise isn't random. It's layered, building like a choir. Elena presses her stethoscope. She never let go of it, even after she swore off hospitals, against her chest. Her face drains of color. Noah, listen. I press my hand to my ribs. My pulse is steady, but the beeping above us isn't. One of the monitors is beating with me. Exact rhythm, exact pauses, every tick and echo of my heart. Another syncs with Elena. Her eyes widen. That's mine. The sound multiplies. Dozens of monitors, all pulsing in time with us, but slightly off. Some ahead, some behind. Like the hospital is trying to predict our next beat or rewrite it. We move faster down the hall, but the monitors follow, glowing green in the darkness. Numbers scroll across cracked LCD screens. Blood pressure, oxygen saturation, vitals, all correct. All ours, except one. One screen reads, patient, Grady, Noah, heart rate, 0 beats per minute. Status, collected. I freeze. My heart slams in my chest, but the monitor insists I'm gone. Another shows Elena's chart. Patient, Cruz, Elena, heart rate, 210 beats per minute. Status, pending. Her breathing spikes. She clutches her chest, gasping. It's forcing me out of rhythm. I grab her hand, drag her forward. Ignore it, but the intercom hisses alive. Dr. Holloway's voice, calm as ever. Correction in progress. Please remain still. The monitors stutter, then sync together, everyone locking into a single rhythm. Too loud, too fast, too wrong. Our own hearts begin to follow. The beeping fades, swallowed by silence again. But not ordinary silence. Thick silence, the kind you feel pressing on your skin. We find a door half hidden behind peeling wallpaper. No label, just a brass handle, polished like it's been touched too often. Elena hesitates. Basements don't have chapels, but when I push, the door swings open. The air inside is colder, almost wet. A long room stretches ahead, lined with pews scavenged from somewhere else. The wood is cracked, splintered, yet every bench is occupied, not by people, by hospital mannequins, training dummies, CPR torsos, plastic arms with puncture wounds for IV practice. They're dressed in patient gowns, seated like a congregation, heads bowed. At the front stands an altar, not a cross, not a crucifix, a hospital bed, sheets perfectly white, lit by a single spotlight. Resting on it is a massive ledger, identical to the one we found in the morgue, only older, leather-bound, pages yellow with age. I step closer. The mannequins creak, plastic necks turning. Every head lifts at once. Elena whispers, voice cracking, "Don't touch it." But the ledger opens on its own. Pages flutter, as if in a breeze, though the air is still. They stop on a name. Grady, Noah. Beside it, not just my status, a prayer. Deliver unto collection. Preserve the record. Archive the soul. Elena grabs my arm, shaking. This isn't medicine. It's worship above us. The intercom crackles. Different now. Dozens of voices overlapping in chorus, chanting a single phrase. Mercy's end endures. Mercy's end endures. The mannequins rise from the pews, joints squeaking, arms stretching toward the altar. And for the first time, I understand. This hospital isn't just a system. It's a faith, and somewhere in its gospel, we are scripture. The mannequins close in, plastic arms reaching, joints squealing like hinges that haven't moved in years. Elena yanks me backward. We crash through a side door, slamming it shut behind us. The air shifts, warmer, damp. We're in a stairwell that shouldn't exist. The steps spiral down, deeper than any hospital foundation. The smell hits first, rot layered with disinfectant, sweet gardenias trying to mask it all. At the bottom, the hall opens wide, a cavern, walls of raw earth reinforced by rusted beams. Floodlights hum, though no wires lead to them. And in the center lies the pit. At first it looks like rubble, then the shapes sharpen. Femurs, ribs, skulls stacked in heaps, collapsing under their own weight. Some fresh, streaked with drying marrow, others brittle, fossilized into the dirt. Elena's hand flies to her mouth. This isn't disposal. This is storage. We inch closer. The bones aren't random. They're sorted. Children's skeletons piled on one side, adults on another, each stack tagged with faded hospital wristbands. I pick one up. The plastic is cracked, ink smeared but legible. Grady, Noah. I drop it. Another lies beside it. Cruz, Elena. Elena staggers back, shaking her head. We're not dead. We're not. The pit answers with sound. A grinding churn, like teeth on teeth. Bones shift, collapsing inward, pulled by something below, something moving. The pile ripples, skulls roll, jaws clacking, fingers twitch like wind chimes, and then it exhales. The stench is overwhelming, decay and sweetness fused into one. A voice rises from the pit, hundreds layered together, children and adults, screaming and praying in the same breath, collected. The earth shudders. Bones collapse into a whirlpool, dragging down, making space for more, for us. Elena grips my arm, nails digging deep. If we fall in, we don't finish the thought, because above us a hatch slams open, showering dust. A gurney drops from the ceiling shaft, slamming into the dirt, empty, waiting. The pit groans, hungry, and for the first time I realize Mercy's End doesn't just archive records. It keeps everybody forever. We stumble back from the pit, coffin through the rot. The gurney lies on its side, wheels still spinning. Above us, the hatch seals shut, locking away the only way out. The intercom crackles, that same dry paper voice we've heard since the first call. Holloway, calm, cold, commanding. Collection incomplete. Return to admissions. Then another sound breaks through, softer, overlapping. A second channel. It's my voice. Noah, don't listen. Don't let him finish you. Elena freezes. That's you. That's your voice. The two channels bleed together, fighting for space. Holloway's steady commands clashing with my own echo, pleading. Holloway, Mr. Grady, proceed to collection. Echo, run. Run before he archives you. The intercom sputters, sparks falling from the ceiling. The metal grid above us buzzes like it's straining under pressure. Elena grips my sleeve. They're not on the same side. Whatever this place is, it's divided. The voice that sounds like me grows more desperate. They're not preserving you, Noah. They're rewriting you. Holloway cuts in sharper, like a scalpel pressed to skin. Observation records incomplete. Terminate duplicate data. The echoing version of me screams, distorted by static, then vanishes. The air goes still, like the walls are holding their breath. Elena whispers, "You heard that. You felt that. There's another you in the system." My recorder hums in my pocket. I play it back, shaking. The sound is there. Both voices, but mine is louder. Elena meets my eyes. It's not just storing patience. It's splitting them. A body for the pit, a soul for the ledger, and something else. Before I can answer, the intercom hisses back on. Holloway's voice calm, certain, final, duplicate error resolved. Mr. Grady, please report for correction. The lights overhead flare. For a heartbeat, I see my own reflection in the polished floor. Only it's not me. It's another Noah, pale, hollow-eyed, already wearing a wristband, stamped with one word, collected. The hallway beyond the intercom is lined with shattered glass cases. Inside each lies a single hospital wristband, pinned like trophies. Hundreds of them, maybe thousands. Elena steps closer. The tags aren't faded. They're fresh, ink still wet. I press my face near the glass. Some bands match the bones in the pit. Others are marked void. But one detail makes my chest seize. Names are crossed out, replaced with new ones in jagged script. Patient, Alice Grady, replaced with Noah Grady. Patient, Maria Cruz, replaced with Elena Cruz. Elena's breath hitches. They're stealing people's deaths, recycling them. One of the cases creaks open on its own. A wristband slides free, drifting weightless like it's being carried by invisible hands. It hovers toward me. My name gleams across the strip, but the date of death isn't blank anymore. It's today. I stumble back. The band drops at my feet. The intercom clicks. Holloway's voice measured, calm. Correction required. Please wear your identification. Elena kicks the band down the hall. No, the cases shudder, glass rattling. More bands rattle loose, clattering to the floor like teeth. They slither across the tiles, dragged by unseen force, circling us. Each one shines with a name I know. Relatives, colleagues, strangers from old case files, all rewritten, all leading here. Elena picks one up without meaning to. The tag reads, Elena Cruz, but not her handwriting, not her birth date. Another woman entirely. Her hand trembles. If I wear this, I'll be her, and she'll be gone. The bands tighten their circle. Cold plastic brushes my ankle. I kick it away. It crawls back. The intercom hisses. Overlapping voices now. Holloway's command and the chorus from the chapel, chanting in unison, wristbands on. Wristbands on, wristbands on. Elena rips one from the floor, snaps it in half. The chant falters, lights flicker. For a second, the whole hospital seems to recoil, but when the power steadies, a new wristband waits on her wrist. She didn't put it there. She can't take it off. The strip glows faint green. Her name, today's date, and one more word pulsing beneath. Collection pending. The corridor opens into a wide operating theater. Tiered seats climb the walls, empty but for shadows. In the center, the table waits, straps buckled open, blades gleaming on trays. Elena whispers, "This isn't abandoned." Someone's keeping it ready. The smell of antiseptic cuts through the air. Too clean, too sharp. It burns my throat. Then they arrive. Men in stained white coats, masks tied too tight, caps pulled low. Their faces are hidden except for their eyes, clouded, cataract white. They move in unison, not rushing, not shambling. Practiced, confident. One carries a saw, another a drill. Their gloves are black, with something that isn't blood anymore. Elena's voice shakes. I've heard about this. Nurses used to joke. Surgeons with no patience, carving each other to stay sharp. The tallest steps forward. His mask sags at the mouth, soaked through. He places a clipboard on the table and taps it twice. The board lists only 2 names. Grady, Noah, incomplete. Cruz, Elena, pending. The others nod in eerie agreement, like mares of a club voting without words. I back away. We're not here for surgery. The lead surgeon tilts his head, scalpel gleaming in his hand. His voice rasps from behind the mask, flat and humorless. Everyone comes for surgery. Some just don't know it yet. The others begin to circle, instruments clinking like silverware before a meal. Elena's hand finds mine, nails digging deep. They're not ghosts. They're what's left when the hospital won't let you retire. The surgeons move closer, white coats brushing the floor, masks twitching like they're breathing too hard. Then the intercom clicks. Holloway's voice cuts through. Do not damage the assets. Proceed to collection. The surgeons freeze mid-step. They lower their tools, but they don't retreat. They just wait, eyes fixed on us, like we're already on the table. We sprint from the theater, leaving the surgeons frozen in their white circle. The hall twists down another flight of stairs, the air growing damp, mold thick on the walls. Halfway down, I hear it, dripping. Slow at first, then faster. By the time we reach the landing, water is already pooling around our shoes. Cold, black, smelling of rust and iodine. Elena shines her light down the stairwell. The steps below are gone, swallowed by rising water. This hospital shouldn't even have plumbing anymore. She whispers. The intercom crackles. Holloway's voice smooth, unbothered. Flood protocol initiated. Uncooperative patients must be pacified. The water climbs fast, lapping at our ankles, then our knees. It's not just water. It's heavy, thick, almost oily. When I lift my hand out, it clings to my skin like tar. Shapes swirl beneath the surface. Not fish, not debris. Gurneys, beds, mannequins drifting like drowned bodies. Their plastic eyes open and staring. Elena grips the railing, knuckles white. We can't swim in this. It's pulling. She's right. The current isn't natural. It tugs at us, dragging down toward the black depths. I feel something brush my leg, fingers, bone thin, reaching. We scramble up the stairs we came from, but water surges after us, climbing unnaturally fast, higher than the building should allow. The intercom repeats, calm and mechanical. Pacification in progress. Hold still. A door bursts open ahead, not from pressure, like someone opened it for us. Inside, a storage room, lights flickering. We dive in as the water crashes against the doorway. The door slams shut, locking itself. We're soaked, gasping, dripping black water onto concrete. The smell of gardenias follows, faint but undeniable. Elena leans against the wall, chest heaving. It's not flooding the hospital. It's flooding us, forcing us under. I listen. Through the walls, faint and muffled, comes the sound of heart monitors. But every beep is slower now, duller, like the water's still inside us, dragging our pulses down. And when I glance at my wrist, I see a fresh line of bruises where no wristband touched, circular, tight, like something tried to claim me while we were under. The storage room is silent, except for the drip of black water pooling at our feet. We scan for another way out. No doors, no vents, only a single window across the room. It shouldn't be there. We're underground. Elena frowns. That's not possible. But the glass shows a perfect night sky, moon bright, stars scattered across a horizon of open fields. Our freedom framed in a rectangle. I step closer. The air near the glass feels warm, inviting. For a moment I swear I can hear crickets outside. Elena yanks my arm back. No, look again. I blink, and the stars ripple. The moon warps, bending into a shape like an open mouth. The crickets fade, replaced by the faint beeping of monitors. Then whispers. Dozens, then hundreds. Jump, jump, jump. The voices aren't threatening. They're pleading, desperate. Elena picks up a metal tray from the floor and hurls it at the glass. Instead of shattering, the window absorbs it. The tray vanishes into the night sky without a sound. Then the glass ripples. For a heartbeat, I see not stars, but hundreds of faces pressed against the other side, distorted, screaming silently, palms slamming the invisible barrier. My stomach twists. Those are patients. Elena shakes her head, whispering, no, those are copies, the ones that never got out. The intercom hisses, Holloway's voice steady as stone. Unauthorized egress detected. Corrective measures required. The window flickers. The night sky is gone. What stares back is my own reflection, only it isn't me. Pale skin, hollow eyes, a wristband glowing faint green, collected. Elena grabs my hand, pulling me away. It's not a window, it's an intake. Step through and you're theirs. The reflection smiles, my smile, and on the other side of the glass, its hand rises, pressing against the surface. I almost lift my own. Almost. Elena jerks me back, hard enough to hurt. Don't. The glass ripples again, swallowing the reflection, leaving only a blank pane, showing nothing but black. The window isn't an exit, it's a door, and it only opens one way. The window fades into darkness, and with it, every light in the room snaps out. 1 second we're standing in the flicker of fluorescence. The next, nothing. Not dim, not shadowed. Absolute black. Elena curses under her breath. I hear her shuffle close, fingers locking around my sleeve. The silence is just as crushing as the dark. No dripping water, no hum of machines, no intercom. Then, click, a single sound in the dark. Not mechanical, organic, like a tongue against teeth. Elena, my voice feels too loud. Another click, closer this time. We move forward, one hand on the wall, the other clinging to each other. My recorder hums in my pocket, struggling to catch anything at all. Playback shows only static. Then the intercom crackles. No voice, just breathing. Heavy, slow. Right in my ear. Elena grips my wrist, hard enough to bruise. Something's in here. The air shifts. A wave of gardenia stench rolls through. Sweet and suffocating. It hides movement, disguises sound. But I hear it anyway. Bare feet on concrete, dragging, then stopping, waiting. We freeze. A spark erupts, just for an instant. Not light, static. My phone screen flares white, and in that flash, I see it. A figure standing inches from us, tall, wrapped in a patient gown. Its head jerks too fast, neck cracking, eyes hollow. A hospital bracelet glowing faint green, then black again. The silence holds. I can feel its breath, hot against my cheek. Elena, I whisper, don't move. The intercom sputters once more. Holloway's voice returning, steady and calm. Observation Observation complete. Proceed with correction. The figure exhales, and then it's gone. The lights slam back on. The room is empty, but on my wrist, tight and cutting into skin, lies a new bracelet. Grady, Noah, date of death, blank, correction, status, pending. Elena studies the bracelet cutting into my wrist, her face pale. It's marking you. Every step we take, it's rewriting the record. Before I can answer, the lights overhead flare red. An alarm shrieks, long, piercing, mechanical. The intercom roars alive. Holloway's voice is calm, even cheerful. Attention, all staff. Code red. Initiate fire protocol. The corridor fills with smoke, thick, gray, choking. We cover our mouths and stumble forward, but the air tastes wrong. Not ash, not burning. Sweet gardenias, heavy enough to sting my eyes. Through the haze, black scorch marks spread across the walls, racing upward like veins. Flames lick at the edges of ceiling tiles, but the heat never comes. The fire isn't real. Elena coughs, gagging. This hospital was supposed to burn. That's what shut it down. A fire in Pediatrics 1994. At least, that's what the records said. Her eyes widen as realization hits. But it didn't burn. It never did. The smoke thins just enough to reveal a plaque on the wall, half melted, half clean. In honor of those lost in the fire, names etched in brass. Hundreds, children, nurses, doctors. At the bottom, Holloway, M. I stare. He was listed among the dead. The intercom corrects me, voice cold as stone. I was preserved. The plaque begins to shift, letters twisting. My name appears on the list, then Elena's, freshly etched, gleaming like new brass. Elena grabs my sleeve. This wasn't a tragedy. It was a cover-up. They didn't close the hospital because it burned. They closed it because it lived. The smoke swirls, forming shapes of children running, nurses collapsing, parents screaming, a loop of history that never happened. And in the center of it all, one figure stands untouched by flame, tall, masked, clipboard in hand. Dr. Holloway. His voice cuts through the chaos. Steady, patient, certain. You've seen the fire that never was. Now you understand. Mercy's End cannot be destroyed. It only collects. The flames vanish in an instant. No smoke, no heat, only silence. But on the wall, the plaque remains, our names glowing brighter than all the rest. The plaque fades, leaving only bare wall, but something slides from the ceiling, fluttering like ash. A sheet of paper lands at my feet. I pick it up. It's a death certificate. Name, Noah Grady. Date of death, today. Cause, cardiac arrest. Attending physician, M. Holloway. My stomach knots, my heart still beating. But the paper says otherwise. Elena snatches it, trembling. This is how they erase people. Rewrite the record first, then make the body match the intercom clicks. Holloway's voice is soft now, almost tender. Death is only a formality. Paperwork first, flesh second. Sign, and the process will be painless. More sheets drift down around us, covering the floor like snow. Each one stamped with the word void. Names crossed out, dates adjusted, signatures in Holloway's jagged hand. Elena picks one up at random. Her blood drains. This is my mother, another page. And this is my old attending surgeon. She drops them like they're burning. Noah, every death in this place has been forged. A pen clatters from above, landing on the paper in my hands. The ink is still wet. The certificate waits for my signature. Elena grabs me hard. Don't. If you sign, it's over. But my hand trembles on its own, fingers curling around the pen like someone else is moving them. The bracelet on my wrist pulses green, glowing brighter with each beat of my heart. The intercom whispers, admission incomplete, finalize correction. I fight to let go of the pen. The tip hovers above the paper, dragging a faint black line across my own name. Elena rips it from my grip, hurling it across the corridor. The paper flares into ash before it hits the ground. The voices rise again, a chorus of hundreds, angry, desperate. Sign, sign, sign. The ash swirls into the air, clinging to my skin, my mouth, my lungs. Every breath tastes like my own obituary, and I know, whether I sign or not, Mercy's End already considers me dead. The ashes from the burned certificate swirl upward, pulled into vents that groan like lungs. The floor beneath us vibrates, faint but steady, like a heartbeat. Then a voice breaks through, not Holloway's this time, softer, fragile, the echo of someone who doesn't belong here. It's a child, whispering, "You can't kill it, you can only bury it." Elena stiffens. Who said that? The voice comes from the walls, layered with static, looping as if on tape. "You can't kill it, you can only bury it." The plaster cracks. A hidden panel slides open, revealing a crawl space stacked with old boxes of hospital files. Inside one, photographs, grainy black and white shots of construction crews, men in hard hats, priests with holy water, nurses looking away. Every picture is the same scene, this hospital being sealed. Bricks stacked over doors, windows bricked shut, priests muttering prayers while surgeons stood behind them, smiling. Elena flips through the photos, hand shaking. They tried to bury it once. Not demolish, not burn. Seal it alive. At the bottom of the box lies a single journal, leather cracked with age. Inside, the handwriting is jagged, desperate. Fire did not end it. Flood did not end it. Every record feeds it. Only silence starves it. Seal the wards. Lock the ledgers. Deny the intercom. Starve it of memory. And it sleeps. The last line is underlined 3 times. Bury the story, or the story buries you. Elena slams the journal shut, whispering, "That's the cost. We can end it, but only if no one remembers, not even us." The intercom clicks alive. Holloway's voice, sharpened to a blade. Unauthorized access. Knowledge breach detected. The walls groan, metal straining like the building is furious. The lights flare blood red, and the child's whisper returns, fainter now, fading. "Bury it, or be buried." The floor buckles beneath our feet, opening cracks that breathe heat, and the stench of gardenias. The hospital knows we've learned its secret. The cracks widen under our feet, hot air rising like breath from a furnace. The journal shakes in my hands, words burning into my skin. Bury the story, or the story buries you. Elena stares at it, her face carved in conflict. All my life I swore I'd never be silent. I exposed county. I ruined careers. I thought the truth mattered more than anything. Her eyes glisten, not with fear, grief, but here, truth feeds it. Every record, every word, every whistle we blow, it eats them, it grows. The intercom bursts alive, Holloway's voice slicing through smoke. "Silence is complicity, Ms. Cruz. Speak, and you are righteous. Speak, and you are ours." The walls shake with laughter, not Holloway's. The chorus, hundreds of voices mocking, echoing, "Speak, speak, speak." Elena presses her palms over her ears, shaking. All I ever wanted was to be heard, to make them see. And now the only way out is to shut up, to bury everything her voice breaks. That's not me, Noah. That's not who I am. I grip her shoulders. You're not choosing silence forever. You're choosing survival. If this place feeds on memory, then maybe forgetting is the only mercy left. The bracelet on her wrist pulses, green light crawling up her veins. She gasps, clutching her chest. It's already writing me down. If I don't vow it now, I'm gone. She raises the journal high, then hurls it into the furnace crack. Flames roar, swallowing the words whole. The voices scream in fury. The intercom distorts, Holloway's calm tone fracturing into static. Elena whispers, "Steady now," almost like a prayer. "I vow silence. For every patient, for every child, for myself, I bury mercy's end." The bracelet on her wrist flickers once, then dies, falling to the ground like a severed shackle. The floor seals itself shut. The heat fades. The smell of gardenias thins, but the silence left behind isn't peace. It's hunger, and Holloway's broken voice rasps through the static, promising one last time, "Stories do not die. They wait." The silence presses in, heavier than the smoke, heavier than the pit. Elena sways beside me, breath ragged, as if the vow itself drained her. The bracelet at her feet lies dark and cracked. Then the intercom clears. No static, no chorus, just Holloway, calm, precise. "Discharge." Authorized. The corridor ahead glows faint white. A door forms where none existed. Glass. Automatic. Pristine. The kind you'd see at any modern ER entrance. Beyond it lies night air. Real moonlight. The sound of wind in the soy fields. Elena grips my hand, whispering, "Don't trust it." But the smell is gone. No iodine. No gardenias. No rot. Just fresh air calling us out. We step forward. The doors slide open with a gentle hiss. And suddenly, we're outside. The building looms behind us. Silent. Dark. Unburned. Just 4 stories of brick. Windows boarded. The ER bay yawning like it never moved. My phone buzzes in my pocket. 12:14 a.m. again. But this time, the clock ticks forward. 12:15. 12:16. Time moves. Elena stares at her hands. It worked. We buried it. I want to believe her. But when I check my recorder, the files are gone. Every second of audio erased. Only one track remains. 4 seconds long. A child's voice whispering, "Bury it or be buried." I turn to Elena. "We'll remember, right? We can't forget." She frowns, confused. Remember what? The color drains from my face. She's already losing it. The vow is eating the memory, sealing the story shut. I clutch the recorder, desperate, whispering into it, "Mercy's End. Holloway. The pit. Don't forget." But as the words leave my lips, they dissolve. I can't recall the details. Not the smell. Not the rooms. Only fragments. Ash. Names. A door that wasn't a door. Elena squeezes my arm. "Come on, Noah. It's just an old building. Nothing more." We walk back to the car. Under the pale moonlight, my phone ticks forward like the world is normal again. But in my pocket, the recorder hums. The screen flashes one word I didn't press. Admission reopened.